Welcome to Mario's Interview Show.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mario. We are here with Drew from Felicity. Am I saying it right? Felicity. Right. Right. He's from Orlando, Florida. Too far away from South Africa. um, so let's get right into it. As I said, you're from Orlando, Florida. So who is your inspiration to you for like starting to get into music?
Into music, man, that's tough. I'd say probably a lot. I don't know if there's a direct inspiration. My parents, both are very musical people. The reason I really wanted to start playing guitar, if I'm being quite honest, was started with being little and seeing the movie Back to the Future and seeing Marty McFly play Johnny B. Good at the school dance, and I remember just like being in awe of how cool that looked and how cool playing guitar looked and how awesome it would be. And then from there, I really got into guitar-based music, mostly classic rock. My dad would play a lot of classic rock in the car when I was growing up, so I loved Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and The Who, Rolling Stones. And definitely more like my favorites were kind of more the ones on the heavier side, like Guns N' Roses or Black Sabbath. Definitely Led Zeppelin too. So that made me want to start playing guitar, and I really like guitar was the vehicle. Really, I wanted to be in a band. Like I want to be in a band. I want to play in front of people. I never have been like I want to be the world's best guitar player. I never have said like I need to be as good as like this guy. I idolize guitar players, but I really just wanted to be in a band. I wanted a way to express myself. I never felt like I had to be the absolute master of the guitar. I just wanted to be able to be good enough to be able to be in a band, be able to create music, play shows, and have people enjoy it. So that was really the vehicle and how I kind of ended up here.
Yeah. You also got a few singles on Spotify that went quite big. How do you
Yeah,
feel about that?
I'm obviously blown away. The fact that people enjoy the music we make is a dream come true. And when I first started this band, uh, we would say it would be really cool to play a show someday, you know. Um, and started with our singer Damien, and to be several years into it now, and to have music on Spotify that we've had a million streams on over a million streams on our last album, and people from around the world listening to our music, becoming fans, saying they want to see us live and buying our merch, like it's a dream come true. Um, that little kid in my dad's car playing classic rock, listening to classic rock. I never thought I would be in a band this size, or I always knew it was possible, but until it became a reality, it didn't seem like it was necessarily always going to happen. And on top of that, I still look at where we are now, and it's like I still feel like we're nothing. I never feel satisfied. I never when I see we have a million streams, like we enjoy it. I enjoy it for a few minutes, maybe a couple days, but then I just immediately am like, well, what's the next goal? What can we do next? Why aren't we bigger? Why aren't we doing this? Why isn't this the only thing we're doing in life? Why don't we have 10 million streams? Why aren't we that? And honestly, I don't think we'll ever be satisfied. And even if we were as big as Metallica, I would be like, well, why aren't we Ed Sheeran or Justin Bieber? Why aren't we like mega? So that's kind of the mindset we always had. So I don't know where that road leads and how big we can be. I just know that we're never satisfied, and having a lot of streams on Spotify is a great start, and people enjoying our music is amazing. But we're just focused on getting better and improving and writing better songs, and trying to find ways to get our music in front of as many people as possible.
Yeah, and I know you said about the music now, and if you could, where would you ever want to perform? Like, Where would you like to perform if you could?
Specific places. I really think the absolute pinnacle of being able to perform as a musician, which now is probably getting more and more far fetched every year. But I think playing, like if you're saying like you can play anywhere you want, one show, I would say the Super Bowl halftime show. Like here in the United States, the Super Bowl is like the number one watched thing on TV, and you have to be like at the absolute pinnacle of a musician to be there and be culturally so relevant that they feel like they can put you on air in front of billions of people all around the world. And you have the level of respect and trust to be able to perform there to where they feel like that's a worthy performance to live up to the standard of that event. So that would be obviously that would be it. That would be the one. But we love playing smaller shows, intimate shows, shows with a few hundred people there. And I would love to, one of our dreams always was to play on the Warp Tour, which was a big tour here in the United States that doesn't exist anymore. But that was one of our dreams. We got to play individual date or two over the years, but we never got to do the entire thing. But that was always a goal. But if one show, one performance, I would say Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Yeah. All right, so we got a guy from South Africa in the comments. Oh, wait, yeah.
Oh, how's it going?
Yeah, and then if you could, who would you want to do a collab with?
That's a good one. I think it would be really cool to do a collab with like anyone. Man, that's tough. Maybe someone. I would love to like find a way to do some type of like. I love when you can do like mixed genre collaborations. So doing something with like Post Malone, we could do like a rock song with Post Malone. I think that would be probably like a dream come true. Someone who has incredibly talented musician who I think people of all walks of life. So no matter what genre of music you're really into, if you love rock music, if you love hip hop music, if you love maybe R&B music, but everyone kind of respects him as just an artist. And I think personality wise, him and my band would get along really well. And I think it'd be a lot of fun to work with. He's just incredibly talented. So I think that would be cool to do maybe like a hard rock song with Post Malone.
I think that would be awesome.
Maybe someday.
Have you guys done any collabs before?
We've done one. Really, like the first few times recording music, we really only did like EPs, and we were making a name for ourselves. This last record we put out we put it out in 2021, but it's called Dear Universe. That's where most of the songs that most of our Spotify plays come from, songs off that album. That album we actually recorded in 2019, so that's almost 4 years for us from when we recorded it. So we were different people, different musicians, much smaller as a band. So we did get to do our first get a guest feature, which we were super excited about, and we got Dan Marsala from the band Story of the Year. And for us growing up, that was one of our biggest influences as far as bands go, especially because of their live performance. If you've ever gotten a chance to see Story of the Year live, especially back in the early 2000s, they were just like a level above everybody else in the scene. And he was always a band we really idolized and looked up to. And we got to meet him playing a show, a Warp Tour cruise in 2017, where we actually played on a cruise ship, and we got to meet him. He was just like the most down-to-earth, genuine guy, and got to play with him that night. He came in on stage and did a song with us that night just because we asked him if he would. And he was like, yeah, let's do it, because he's just that type of guy. And then afterwards, we had some shots, and he talked to us about the industry and answered any questions. And then we've kept in touch over the years. So when we were like, let's see if he wants to do a feature on our record, and he was like, yeah, no questions asked. And he did it. So that was super cool. So on our song Ignite on our Dear Universe, which is on Spotify, he does the second verse and some of the backing vocals and stuff on that song.
All right, cool. Let me ask you, what would you say is the most rewarding part of being a musician or in a band?
That's so I would really just say when people enjoy our music and they tell us how much it means to them. We don't make money off being in a band, at least not yet, maybe someday. But really, it's a passion project, just like if you're getting started as like a painter or any other type of like, thing. You may like if you draw, maybe you're an artist and you draw. Maybe someday you can work your way up and maybe work drawing for comic books or drawing for animation studios, and right. But you start out, you're just doing it out of love, and we're still doing it out of love. We're not doing it as a job. We're not doing it for financial gain or anything like that. We still have day jobs. All of us in our band, we still have jobs we work every single day to get by, and then so that allows us the opportunity to do our music. So when people discover us from whatever reason and become fans, and they say, "Hey, I saw you guys on TikTok. Now I listened to your entire album, and it's one of my favorite albums of the year." Like that blows us away, because at the end of the day, that means more than anything. So as long as people still are enjoying our music, and when people come to our shows and they bought merch and all that, just finding out that people enjoy the music we make. If no one enjoyed it, we'd probably still make it, but it would be a lot less fun probably. And I would say that's really rewarding. And then seeing ourselves evolve, listening back to our old music. People love our music we released in the past, but sometimes I listen back to it and I'm like embarrassed. I'm like, why did we think we were good back then? And that's obviously, I think every artist feels that way about their own craft. Like I'm sure you, Mario, feel like you may watch one of your first interviews you did and been like, oh my God, I'm so much better now than I was back then. But that's part of the process. So that's one of the most rewarding things too, is like hearing the next music we're finishing up and about to put out, and just being like, why couldn't we have come up with this a couple years ago, when because it's so much better. But that's all part of it. It's all part of the growth. It's all part of the experience about life. And we grow, we improve, we learn, and we try to improve. And as long as we're constantly seeing that improvement, we don't care about how long it takes. Like if we are 60 years old and we're still putting out music and people are still enjoying it, and we are better than we were last year, that's all we really care about.
Yeah. All right. What would you rather do? Netflix and chill, or go out?
Man, that's tough, because I enjoy both a lot. I would say I do enjoy going out, but I would probably enjoy Netflixing and chill probably like 2 out of 3 times. So like 2 Netflix and chills and then 1 go out. Like that's probably my balance I would like. I can't go out every night, but depending on the night of the week too. Like weeknights, I'm more of a stay in, but like weekends, I like to go out maybe once on the weekend and have a good time. But both are great. I don't think there's a wrong answer.
Yeah. And then also, do you think you'll ever do an international show? Like, say, for instance, in South Africa?
We would be there tomorrow if we got the opportunity or got the offer. It's just like, for us to come out there, it's like, okay, we're going to buy all these plane tickets, ship all of our gear, and how many people other than Mario are going to come to the show? We're going to get 10 people to come, 20 people to come, but if we got the opportunity to where we were like opening for a band and that was on there, we would be there in a heartbeat. So, I mean, we have people every day comment on like, TikTok or Instagram and say like, well, when you come to Germany, when you come to South Africa, and it's like, as soon as we can, we'd come today if we could. It just has to make sense and be an opportunity where we can do it, to where it makes sense, so.
Yeah. But I first got, not meet you guys, but saw you guys was on TikTok.
Yeah.
I opened TikTok the one day you guys popped up, and I just liked it. So I love the music vibe. So yeah.
That's a great thing about TikTok and these places. Like people from all around the world can discover us, and that hasn't really existed before in social media. I mean, even Instagram and Facebook, it's like, oh, you follow a band and then you see their content, but very rarely do you discover something new unless maybe one of your friends shares it. Where this could just be like TikTok kind of understands the type of music you're into based off what you watch, and then might throw our band in front, and that's really amazing. So, I mean, we dedicate so much of our success over the last year to just really taking TikTok seriously. And a year ago, we weren't really on TikTok at all. We weren't taking it seriously. Beginning of last year, we said, right about a year ago this time, we said, all right, let's take this seriously. Let's do it right. Let's put a lot of effort into it. and the amount of growth we've had over the last year when we really put a lot of time and love and care into it and made it important. We get now people say like, oh, like the bands that are big on TikTok, and they'll say like the normal bands you see over and over again, but sometimes we get included in that. And I'm like, hell yeah, because a year ago we were looking at those other bands and saying we should do what they're doing. We need to do what they're doing, and they were already doing it. And now to be included is awesome, and it's a lot of work. Like that's a lot of work putting out TikToks every single day and trying to entertain people. And we just want to play music sometimes. But hey, let's go do a funny skit or something and find unique ways to promote ourselves. So.
Yeah, no, like posting 2 to 3 TikToks a day, or even 4 TikToks a day, that's too much.
A lot of work. Yeah. And we've done that. We've gone up to 5. We used to do 5 a day. Now I like 1 or 2. At least one a day I try. And we try to put out at least something brand new. It's not like we're just reposting the same stuff over and over again. We try to put out something new and unique, and we try to film something new every single week, even if it's just going into, a hardware store and getting kicked out and playing our music or something. At least it's something we can do that's fun, that people enjoy. So
yeah. And then also, I don't know if I asked this, but who's your favorite artist or DJ?
So artists, I really listen to mostly rock music, to be honest. I do enjoy like hip hop music. I do enjoy pop, like modern pop music, and I do even enjoy some like country music, but not really DJ type stuff. I've don't listen to a ton of like electronic music, just because I'm a guitar player, so I like to like hear the instruments and everything. So for me, I would say my favorite band of all time. One that's probably made the biggest impact on me is a band called Coheed and Cambria. Kind of like a prog rock band from that I discovered when I was in high school and college. And then growing up, really like Guns N' Roses was a band that made a massive, massive impact on me. And then currently right now, I'd say like a band that I really go out of my way to see is a band like A Day to Remember, like one that I just really enjoy everything they put out. They're really inspiring as people. And a band that like we kind of try to model our lives and how we present ourselves and how we treat the industry like they do, because they seem like awesome dudes, awesome musicians, really care about their fans and go about things the right way and really care about their craft and their music too. So that's another band we really, really are into.
All right, that's cool. And then one question I asked the previous guy I interviewed is, how do you feel if the crowd sings with you when you guys sing?
Oh, that's the best. When the crowd sings along with you, yeah. There's nothing like it. We specifically try to write, like we're at the point now at Songwriters we're like, let's try to write parts of the song that people can specifically sing along. So our number 1 played song is a song called The Weather, and we wrote a big like sing along part. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we're playing shows where there's not that many people who have ever seen us before or heard of us before, and maybe they don't, but whenever they do, it's awesome. And there's nothing like it. So you want to get to the point where you play shows, you go to those shows and the fans are so dedicated you can barely even hear the singer because everyone around you singing. Like that's where you want to get. I've been to so many shows like that. Every Coheed and Cambria show is like that. Like it's hard to hear the singer because everyone around you is singing and half of them are singing out of key and whatnot. But that's just showing how much passion and love you have for the music.
Yeah. And then my last question to you: where can people follow you? I got everything.
Yeah, we're pretty easy to find. We try to make everything the same. So we are Felicity. There we go. We are Felicity on every single platform. Except Spotify, right? Spotify, just type in Felicity. If you type it in all caps, it should come up. And then at We Are Felicity everywhere else. And we're really, really active on Instagram and TikTok. So that would be the places I say to check us out. TikTok, we post a lot of fun content, and Instagram, if you're interested in seeing where we're playing shows or announcements and show announcements and stuff, we put most of that on Instagram, and then TikTok for our silliness.
All right, cool. All right, then that's all from my side. I don't know if you got anything.
That's all. No, I just want to appreciate, man. It's awesome meeting you and having an interview with someone from South Africa. We're halfway across the world, and we're still able to connect over music and do this interview. So that's really awesome. It's really cool how far technology has brought to connect people together. So anyone watching, I would really appreciate it if you check us out and listen to us on Spotify. And even if you want to go leave a comment and tell us that we suck, I'll appreciate the fact that you listened to us anyway and gave us a chance.
Yeah. All right. So that's all from our side. Thanks everybody for watching. That's Drew from Felicity, and cheers. See you guys again.
Cheers, guys.